we're in an economy, and Detroiters tend to get this. I think they're hopefully, you know, in the name of Jesus, getting this more. Everybody has to put in a little bit something more to make sure that their neighbor is not suffering. My property value is, you know, in the tubes if my neighbor is kicked out, even if I'm still living in my house and I'm doing okay. So if I pay into a system where I know that government is not abusing what I pay, but they're using it and it's actually reaching the ground, it's reaching the people, then everybody should be willing to put a little bit more in to sustain. I'm not even talking about really grow Michigan, but to sustain the basic quality of life that we have. You know, Michigan is one of, not to make this a tax talk, and this is the last thing I'll say, Michigan is one of, but this is the pressing issue of our day. Michigan is one of 7 states, so 43 other states have some form of tax on services. They tax some services. They don't tax, some states might not tax the beauty shop, some states might not tax the golf course, but 43 states tax some kind of service. We need new revenue streams in Michigan. We need new revenue streams. We have a smaller base of workers on income tax paying for a system that needs so much more, okay? And then, by the way, we have a culture, and I'm saying this is real bad guy comment. Not your traditional liberal Democrat comment, okay? So prepare yourself. We have way too many tax credits. Not just the rich fat cat guy that we like to say they shouldn't be getting a tax break. We have too many tax breaks across the spectrum, okay? And what has happened is this year will be the first year that we got $63 billion in tax credits, okay? So that's money that you could be getting back. How big? $63 billion in tax cuts. We expect that we won't even take in that much revenue this year. You understand what I'm saying? So we're giving out more credits than we are taking money in, okay? That's a structural deficit. So that means after they finish reforming government, firing the 30 people that's over 30 years on the job, you know, making them early retire, after they finish cutting all of the people off of Medicaid services or non-Medicaid services for mentally ill people, once they finish cutting all of that, making those reforms to save a couple of dollars, we're still going to have the structural deficit, which will reemerge the next year. But you won't have, you have to cut even, I mean, we've cut to the bone marrow already. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so everybody understands today we're talking about power and influence.
Right. I'm sorry. That's
It's all right.
way.
It's okay. It's all right. You're good. You're good. It's informative. It's something that everybody. That's right.
Stop.
There you go. And so it's important, I think, number one, to know as a state legislator, she has to have some sort of influence or use some sort of, that's right, some sort of, to get the job done in Lansing. She can't do it by herself. It's not like she can say, all right, I vote to raise taxes and everybody's taxes go up. She needs 56 votes and then another 22 votes.
Yeah.
And then she needs the governor to sign it. You have to have some sort of influence, some sort of power, or use some sort of style of leadership in order to get that done. Does everybody understand why I brought her here today?
Yeah.
And it's always a spirit of compromise on everything. Nobody's going to get 100% of what they want on any issue, right? Another issue is the question of, should there be a trigger in the state of Michigan for the governor / state superintendent to bring in an academic manager if a district is triggered for academic distress? So if a target is met, should there be something in the law to say that the governor can appoint an academic manager because there's way too much academic failure in this district, any district in the state? That's another question that's requiring.
We talked about Bob and his leadership last week.
Right.
Y'all remember that? All right, so
the influence and I guess power is going to come around coalescing as many members as we can. Not just, you know, bare bones. You want to get, for an issue as controversial as that, you want to get a lot of support. To get the grassroots community involved, but to get members throughout the state, as many of them as you possibly can, on board with that concept, because conceptually it could affect districts that they represent too.
That's right.
There's probably 55 districts that are getting ready to go in financial management. That's one thing. But we know that there are several other districts, 500 some school districts in the state. There are some people suggest over 100 that could be in position to go in academic receivership, not receivership, but academic distress as well. So more than Detroit, but that's the other question that's a